Hey folks, welcome back to Bro Do It Yourself. It's January the 5th, 2024. Great evening, Made American. This is my third video today. My wife's going to help me out. She's going to be the videographer once I hand it to her here. What I'm going to do tonight is, you can see I've got the locking mechanism in these two positions. This is the position in the quote-unquote phase one where the light fell the other day when we were talking about these this fastening system. So what I've got is this one is affixed over here. The line is run, the wires are run, and what I'm going to do is hang this light that I'm working on tonight. The wiring is going to go through here, and then I'm going to have the continuation to the home run and have the wires pop through there and do all the connections here and put the little cap on it. Cinch that thing down, and that'll be the next one I'll put the switch in. So what we're going to do tonight is talk about this favorite tight light, and what I'm going to do is go from A to Z. So this is my light. I've unclipped it so I can get the heck on the job here. They unclip like this. You got the two little teeth here and here. You pinch it. It unloads them there. Just set it to the side. Now that's made with a lanyard on it, a little stainless lanyard, a little braided, so that you can do this when it's hanging. My little stick here. My first thing I want to do is replace this O-ring on here, just because I had it up here and I was monkeying around with the PVC and noticed this thing was turning. So I had two sizes of O-rings and kind of anal, but this thing, I mean, it's functioning, but it doesn't feel like it looks right. It's very simple, no big deal. It has to be fast enough, but rather than go with their configuration of wire to wire, because I've got the two, they've got a, I don't know, some kind of cord to go from, there probably is a, well, that's got the small ring on it. Must have smash rated. Let's change it anyway. I don't know if it's a small one or not. Maybe. Like I say, I had some others. Yep, that's exactly the same one, isn't it? It's just distorted. I didn't have it enough smasheration on it. So anyway, well, that'd be good. You can see how it's done anyway. And I'll just use the box nut on the other end of a 1/2 inch fitting. Oh, that's what it is. It's because it's a little bit oversized on the hex and kind of catches on that one edge. These are, I'm not going to say because they're number 15s in one, and these are 100s in another, but they're 15-inch ID, or OD, I'm sorry, and 3/4 inch ID, 3/4 inch to encompass the threads. That's done. Now let me get this thing cinched up here. That was the problem, is one of the problems. Let me see if I can just hold it from turning. And they got much success holding it now. Worked like a charm. So that's done. That way it allows me to go with this next piece, which is the piece I'm going to be using, and pop that in. Go the depth I need to. I don't want to do it now because it gets stuck in there. And I'll have my wires run through there, which I could probably ought to go on and put that in. Okay, that's close enough. So what we're going to do tonight is have the installation of the wires. We talked about the luminosity, the 4, 5, 6,000 K. We talked about the 40, 50, 60 watts. These are the wires that come from the factory, which I would just have the wall go into another one that I was going to have the wall go into another one. So I'm going to just take these out and go to my tailored tailored length. So all you got to do is push down on that, pull it out. Push down on that, pull it out. Bingo. Done. What I'd also like to do here is, while I'm at it, take this thing off. It's righty-tighty. Lefty-loosey. First thing I want to do is replace those two bell wires. So actually what these wires do is they go to the slide control. This is the control that we're going to be using. That is these two wires here that control it, the blue and the white. It's so funny because on the vendor supplied instructions it talks about it could be blue or purple or white or gray, and I've seen brown and I've seen all kinds of different colors. The main idea is that you have the negative, which is pointed out as the white here, right? The white is negative and the blue and purple are positive. So you want to make sure that you get the right ones. You got dimmer minus and dimmer positive. The dimmer positive is the orange, the dimmer negative is the gray. So what I've done is taken the Q off of this so I can keep everything kind of consistent. I'm going with a white on the negative, so that's consistent. I'll run that right through there. And the issue that I find here is that getting it underneath this is the only one I'll have to do this with, because it runs the length of the driver. Of course there's just a small bridge there. Let me see if I can see that tube is kind of messing with me now. There we go. I'm going to get it on the side of the lanyard so that the lanyard won't be pulling the wires out if you got to drop it from the hanging position. That's if you want to change your wattage or if you want to change your luminosity. So the white is the negative. I have to find my little stick. There it is. I'm really stressing out my videographer here. I'm trying to do this. I give you pliers for a reason, don't they? Actually, I like these. There we go. Yeah, just like Wago. Any kind of mechanical connector. I've got a couple of different kinds, and I really like them a lot. It really beats twisting those wires. Twisting is a blind assembly, which is never good. But I mean, you know, guys have been doing them for probably 60, 70 years like that. So, alright, that's it. That's done. Pull them to the side, lay them down, give you a nice little wire strain here. Little wire relief, strain relief. I like to run them one on one side, one on the other. I have got those dangerously close to being too short. But that's going to be right in the box, and I can deal with that. I give it all the slack I can get. There you go. Alright, so that's done with. I previously stripped the wires so we can make this fast. What am I looking for here? Oh, the little screwdriver. There it is. I'm going to go on and give these a scrooch. Just make sure they're good and tight. You don't want to go gorilla on this stuff, you know. Who knows when it take to pop one through. I haven't messed one up yet. I back these out till here and they're at the starting thread. It's pretty straightforward. There you go, hear that? There you go. Start with the ground wire first. Pop that dude in there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take about 1/16 off there. Fighting the memory of the wire. There you go. And you just feed that in until it bottoms out. Ideally, you don't have any copper showing. Since those are, this is THHN, and make sure that those stranded wires really get spread out. Make sure you put a little, maybe a little extra from what you think would be tight. Yeah, I think I had these cut for something else, didn't I? Well, it's not cut for what I want because they're way too long. Anyway, you don't have to hang them like that. I can redo this later. Because I'm not going to hang it in this video, but these wires, I think I had them cut for another application because they're way too long. I just need them to pretty much terminate where the bell wires are, and I've got them going out to the other side of the world there. Anyway, it's going to work for the test. You see the white with the white. I had the green with the yellow green. I worked in an electric shop, and ideally, if you want to do this by the book, you should solder these. Makes a much better connection, and it's just the way it should be done. But displaying these in this block will be what we're shooting for. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking when I started this video. So this is the boring part. What I was worried about is what are you going to be talking about when you're doing this? The dead spots. 'Cause I'm not that funny, not that good of a joke teller, and it's not about that in this anyway. So anyway, this gets you to the switch. You know what really gets me is that's going to be so, that's not going to work. Videographer wife, because I've got to go over here to this stuff. We're going to give it a shot. What I'm going to do is go on and yeah, I really wasn't very forward thinking on that wire length for this video. Let's go on and hook these up and we'll be able to get it tested. That's all that matters, is to see the thing come on. So the first thing I want to do is, since I don't have a red wire, I have got a blue wire coming out here. This is the positive for the driver, which is transferred to the positive on the control slide. So that's my blue. This is my white. These are the only two that are common. Alrighty. There we go. Love Wiggles. Now what we can do is, it's pretty straightforward. This leg right here. And this is important too, when you're wiring this thing up, you want to remember that this is the top. Your slide is going to be up so that you can wire it. This thing's not going to be used. It's for a three-way switch, which I might do in the future, which means you'd have to run a whole new red wire to encompass a three-way switch. So this is by this red lead coming out of the switch says right here, connect the dimmer black wire to the hot and wall, connect the dimmer wire without sticker to the driver's hot wire. So the driver's hot wire is going to be this one here. Alright, see that that is the dimmer hot wire. The grounds, I need a three-way woggle. Got one right there. I'm going to hook that in there, like that. And then I hook it into my live. All this is live. In the real world, you would have your electric turned off. Now what I want to do is, I have remaining neutral wire and my power line, my hot lead. So I'm going to hook my common wire up first. And ideally what's going to happen is, and if you're just hooking up a switch without a dimmer, it's not going to have these two leads. So basically you're just going to be hooking up your ground, your neutral, and your black. This is the power to the dimmer, which is going to be controlled going out to the light through the other. So this is going to make the magic. So ideally, if I didn't damage this light when it fell, it should be energized now. So let's just see about that. In 3, 2, 1, and booyah, like that. Now the thing that makes that happen is this black wire. If I was to take that black wire out, conversely, if I take any of the wires off, they will. But that is 60 watts at 5,000 lumens, and that's just about as easy as it gets. You can see here. Let me just give you an idea, for the heck of it, is how blinding these things are. I've got one up in my attic without a diffuser on it, and it's like looking right at the sun. And that's only half. That's it. So that's really bright. It doesn't really show on the video. I tried it downstairs, and it's just, I guess there's a limit. It's like looking at an arc welder. It's not going to burn your eyes out. That's what amazed me about the Columbia when it went off. We watched the Columbia go up on its maiden voyage, and I was astounded at how bright the exhaust flame was coming out of that spaceship going up. It was unbelievable. We couldn't even look at it. It was so bright. That's the way these things are. So anyway, you'll never be able to tell that on film then. That is video number 11. I'll tell you what I did forget to do is put this little restraint back on. So let me do that, and got a little ahead of myself. I'm supposed to group these up and keep them together. Make sure you don't pinch them, just keep them grouped in the middle there. You don't want to wrench these down past snug. The plastic threads will just rip right out. Right there, it's touching. Just give it about a 10 thousandths snug. That's it. Now, we're done on the reels. Let me get this thing snapped in. I'll tell you something else I'd like to do too. I've been doing this on all of them. Is I've been pulling these little holders, what they call them, hold downers, tweaking them out to make sure that they really grip, because I found that with monkeying around with this thing it's kind of like jet engines. They like to go together and they don't like to come apart. And once you compromise the original intent on design, everything else you do is a deviation from the form. So, with all that said, the nice thing about it is, see this white seal here? It goes 360 like a racetrack. That bites into this with the pressure of those little hold downs. So you got to keep your lanyard out of the way. This into the zip code. Get this one. Shot myself in the foot there a little bit, huh? Okay. My ground wire give me a headache. Let me just pinch them together. Oh, it doesn't go in that racetrack. You know what goes in that racetrack? Is the diffuser. Sorry about that. I was thinking this got sealed, and that got sealed, but you can see that racetrack around there. That is, there is a track that encompasses the actual light itself. But this edge is what gets caught in that white rubber seal there. Like everything else, I start in the middle, work out. And these will, on the cheaper ones, these will pop out on you every once in a while. You just gotta gingerly pop them back in. Make sure that it's seated well. Give it one more test. And that's it. That is the assembly of the switch, the light, and the wires. So, that said, I would like to thank my wife for videography and making it look easy. And we'll get back to you on the next video. I'll shorten these wires up, probably just since I got them rigged in there. I'll probably just cut them to length when I get it up in there. But anyway, that's the smallest mistake I've made today. That's the luckiest I'll be. Thanks a lot. See you later.